couple hours of waiting and letting the storm blow through. Let the snow plows get out there. Don't take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah.
And try to stay with your vehicle as long as you can.
Cold weather brings concerns for cars and vehicles and travel. I'm Jeff Leiker. Ellis County Sheriff Scott Braun joins us to talk about this and more on this episode of the Post Podcast with our Protect and Serve segment.
You know, I was out about 4 this morning, and I realized how cold it was.
Yeah.
It didn't take me very long. I was out for just a few minutes, and wow, I wanted to go back to my car. So it made me think this morning, and I know that I do this every year, but it's just a good reminder of...
Good refresher, yeah. Absolutely.
So, you know, when we're traveling, cell phones have changed a lot of things compared to what they used to be. But I still think it's a good practice to let your family know your route of travel and when you're expected to be there, should something happen. And cell phones die. I mean, my kids' phones are always dead. That's why they can't answer them, you know, because they're always on them.
Right.
But if you are traveling, plans are great. But more importantly, if it's going to be really, really cold and there's potential snow and those types of things, I would have some warm boots in your vehicle. Maybe some coveralls or warm coats, gloves, ears.
We usually throw like an extra blanket in the trunk or something like that too, if you have to be like sleeping or something along those lines.
Yeah, you know, they make little heat sources too. You got to be careful with those in a vehicle if there's a flame.
Yeah.
But they make those sources. They also make those hand warmers and feet warmers. Those are nice to lay in there. You know, a bottle of water may not be a bad thing. Now it's going to freeze if you leave it in there all the time. But you know what? It's something wet. If you needed it, you could break that down and suck on the ice if you needed to. Yeah. It sounds crazy if you're stuck in a snowstorm, but your body needs moisture, so it needs water. So you know, it's just common sense. You know, if there's going to be a blizzard, I suggest you don't travel. You know, we're pretty good about getting there if people are having some motorist problems. But if it's too bad, it puts our staff at risk and other motorists on the road and yourself at risk. You know, a couple hours of waiting and letting the storm blow through, let the snow plows get out there. Don't take any unnecessary risks. And try to stay with your vehicle as long as you can. The cold just takes advantage of you, especially our wind out this way. 35, 40 mile an hour, that temperature drops pretty quickly. Yeah, it does. And, you know, speaking of like, you know, not traveling during the blizzard, I mean, you know, something like Thanksgiving and Christmas, this day and age, it can be rescheduled. Oh, yeah. I mean, let's think about it. Yeah. How many families do a different Thanksgiving Day because they have to travel and meet other family? Yeah. Christmas is much the same. Sometimes it takes months to have Christmas with your family. And, you know, the main thing is that we're always safe and we travel safely and we get home safely. And it's one of those things where we like to be there when we can, and it's important to spend time with family, but it is not worth someone losing their life over. And it can happen with cold weather. Yeah, absolutely. And as far as traveling on ice and snow and things like that, this is in the top of my head because I am tomorrow I'm going by a tire shop because I'm getting new tires. Yeah. Yeah. It's that time. Yeah. So, and we didn't talk about maintenance of your vehicle. That's basically what you're talking about. Tires are important. Now, if it's icy out, I don't care whether you're driving a 4-wheel drive, you're driving a front-wheel drive, you're driving an all-wheel drive. It doesn't really matter. You got snow chains on or not. It doesn't. It doesn't make you stay on the road any better. Ice is ice, and we all know there's just no traction there, and so you're going to slide. So that stopping distance when there's ice on the road and snow-packed roads, we need to slow our speeds down a little bit. The other thing is make sure we're checking our windshield wipers too. They also make an additive, or you can buy your washer fluid that actually has some treatment on there, so you can defrost your windows a little bit as you're going. If you get ice, it treats that. I know that our patrol cars, we run those through the winter, keep our blades clean and that. And I know a lot of us now have remote starts on our cars, which really is a good security. You're fairly safe starting your car with those because it locks the doors and you have to have the key fob to go anywhere. Yeah. Some of our older cars, as per really about city ordinances, you can't start it and leave it running within town. Statutorily, I don't know that there is one in the county that I'm aware of. But be aware that we have had vehicles stolen when they're not secured.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to start your car, defrost the windows, which is important. I don't know how many times I've run across people where they scrape the ice like right in front of their face, and you can't see either way. That's actually hindering your vision, and you could be stopped for that. And it's a safety concern. So take
two little eye holes.
Yeah,
in the middle.
Absolutely. You know, we get up late. It happens to everybody. We understand that. If seen, you might get stopped and talked to about that a little bit. You could be cited. It depends on the circumstances. But, you know, obviously we're always concerned about our safety. Also make sure that you have antifreeze. Your antifreeze is up to where it should be level wise. And again, as you said, make sure we got some good tires on those. Let's not drive on bald tires. It's hard enough to drive on ice with good tires, much less bald tires.
Yeah. Don't look at my van as you walk out, by the way. So,
you know, tires are expensive, and we try to push them as long as we can. So I understand that. And other than that, if you ever have any questions about safety of travel and things like that, please feel free to contact the Sheriff's Office, 785-625-1040, and ask for one of my guys or myself, and I'll be happy to talk with you about it.
Yeah, and kind of touch on the windshield as well, too. This happened to me fairly recently. You know, I had to turn my defroster on, and apparently there was a crack, and it expanded. It happens.
Yeah. And you know, it does happen.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And windshields are expensive. Anything obstructing that driver's view directly in front is a violation of state statute.
Yep.
And it hinders, but you're right. You may not know you have that rock pit in your thing, and the minute you do it, it's going to crack on you. And
you just kind of like watch it, like just go across as you're defrosting and everything too.
I know.
It was mesmerizing.
and you have some thoughts and words maybe when you see it happen.
Yep.
You know, it's $400, $500, $600 to replace a windshield.
Yeah.
So, but we just want everyone to be safe. Enjoy the upcoming holidays and travel safely. And if you ever have any questions, please call.